There's nowhere else I'd rather be on my birthday. It's Flag Day, my birthday.
Every time Donald Trump gives a speech, he becomes increasingly incoherent as the speech goes on until it is just a total word salad, and today was no different. It is his 78th birthday, so he gave a speech in West Palm Beach, Florida, and it was a disaster. He was slurring, he wasn't making any sense at all. Watch this clip of him attempting to talk about inflation, but he messes up 5 times within 10 seconds. Watch.
I gave you record tax cuts, record inflation was knocked out. We had inflation like you've never had it, and now we have more inflation than probably, you know, they like to say 52, and then 62, and then 75 years. I think it's the highest inflation we've ever had as a country. It's a country buster.
Donald Trump then engages in what we'd call a Gish gallop if he were doing a debate. He rapid fire lists off 5 reasons why the country is doing terrible. He says that inflation has gone rampant. He says that Biden is too old. The Middle East is crumbling. Europe is in flames. He says all of this very quickly, but none of it is quite true. He's being very performative. He's doing this to get votes and to appeal to people who are already disillusioned with how things are currently going. He's trying to run as the change once again, but he had 4 years and he didn't change much. Watch this clip.
Less than 4 years ago, our border was secure. Inflation was nowhere to be seen. We had it down to a science. The world was at peace. And instead of weakness and failure, America was stronger and more respected than ever before. It was never so respected as it was for 4 years, just 4 years ago. Now, under crooked Joe Biden, the world is in flames. We have a country that's being laughed at all over the world. Our border is overrun. Inflation is raging. Europe is in chaos. The Middle East is exploding. Iran is totally emboldened. They were broke when I was president. China is on the march.
I watched the entire speech, and he says that phrase, "We've never seen anything like it. We've never seen anything like this poll," or "We've never seen anything like this piece of legislation." He says that phrase literally 100 times. It gets so repetitive. But Donald Trump also keeps repeating this claim that the country has never been more laughed at than ever before. There he goes, using that phrase again. He says, "We've never been such a laughing stock," but if I recall correctly, he was at a NATO summit and got laughed at by other world leaders, and this happened on multiple occasions. He tried to sign a document and did it incorrectly, and they all laughed at him. He then went on stage at another summit, and they all laughed at him. Our perception across the world has only increased as President Biden has taken the mantle. But watch this clip of Donald Trump already laying the groundwork to drop out of the debate. He's saying that Jake Tapper won't be fair. He always calls him Fake Tapper, but the debate is less than 2 weeks away. So let me know, do you guys think that it will happen? Leave a like, comment, let me know. Watch this clip.
Accepted it, and I think Jake will be fair. Does everyone think he's going to be fair? Ronnie, no? You don't think so? He may. Let's see. Look, he's got his reputation at stake. Got his reputation. And CNN has their reputation. You know, they're doing very badly in the polls. They're going to get big numbers here. But it's being actually sent out to all the networks, to every network. So it should be a big evening. They say Super Bowl numbers. So everyone's going to watch. You'll have to be screaming at your television set all night, I suspect.
I like how he says that CNN is doing poorly in the polls, like CNN is running for president. He also says that Jake Tapper's reputation is at stake. I thought he was going to make another Hannibal Lecter pun for a second there, talking about steak and talking about he had his friend over for dinner. I don't know. Watch this clip of Donald Trump rambling about how terrorists and illegal immigrants are now better off under Biden's administration. Watch.
Under crooked Joe Biden, illegal aliens are better off, terrorists are better off, China is better off, Russia is better off, the cartels are better off, but the American people were far better off when you had a president named Donald J. Trump. Has anyone heard of him? Has anyone heard of him? Under my leadership, we had no wars. Instead of a globalist warmonger in the White House, you had a peacemaker at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. We had energy independence and soon would have been energy dominant. We were dominant all over the world within a matter of months. We were going to be energy dominant, but we went to #1 in the world under Trump.
Donald Trump's speeches are so incredibly vacuous. He just repeats simple, catchy lines, but I guess that's what his supporters like. In that speech right there, he was literally saying, right now we had war. We used to have peace. Right now we have violence. We used to have peace. Right now things are bad, but they used to be good. It's just these simple phrases comparing and contrasting peace with war and inflation with things being cheap, and I guess it's working, whereas President Biden's speeches at least have a little bit more substance. He tells stories. He doesn't ramble about sharks. Watch this clip of Donald Trump saying, we had the strongest border in the history of our country under him. Now we have the weakest border in the history of the world. His constant salesman-like language, use of language, cracks me up. Watch this clip.
We never had an attack because we kept them out. We had the strongest border in the history of our country. Now we have the weakest border in the history of the world. Very simple. It's not good. What's happening in our country is not good. The fact is, our country is going to hell.
For somebody who claims to love our country so much, Donald Trump really can't stop talking about how we are a failed nation that's in a state of crisis and how we are in the gutter. Every single speech, he is undermining America and its institutions, whether it's the legal and judicial systems or our election systems. And I feel like this is how authoritarians work. Authoritarians benefit by making it seem like they're the only ones who can step in and save the populace from these wrongs. He plays to this anti-establishment base, as I was saying, these people who are already disillusioned with the establishment. He's trying to paint President Biden as the establishment, and he's going to come in and tear everything down, and this opens a perfect gap for him to act on his authoritarian urges if he wins a second term, because once he starts tearing down these institutions, he already will have built up so much disillusionment with the FBI, the DOJ, the Department of Education, that when he tears it down, people won't even care. And that's what he's been doing for the past few years, building distrust with all of these three-letter agencies, so when he gets in, if he gets in, he can enact Project 2025. Watch this clip of Donald Trump talking about South America and apparently not knowing that Venezuela is in South America. Watch.
They're coming from countries all over the world, not just South America, but Venezuela. The violent crime is down 72%. Because they've taken their criminals out of Caracas and all of the different places, and they've moved them into the United States of America. Thank you very much, Venezuela. We appreciate it. Think of it.
I don't know why he keeps telling that lie. He's been fact-checked on that multiple times. Crime in Venezuela, first of all, has not dropped 72%. It was more like 24%. And it's definitely not because they're shipping people over to America straight from their prisons. It doesn't make any sense. But if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment a blue heart, hit the subscribe button, and have a great day.